a little bit tired. Why don't I like search for this artist or
We are honored today to host a very special discussion delving into the profound role art plays in our daily lives. First, again, I would like to introduce RM of 21st century pop icons BTS. You can enter the stage in a second. And as many of you know, BTS has not only dominated the music charts worldwide, but also garnered prestigious accolades. Beyond his groundbreaking musical career with BTS and his impactful solo work, RM is renowned as an art enthusiast and a collector. Celebrated for his insightful perspectives on art, he's also recognized as an ArtNet art innovator and a significant patron of the arts, wielding considerable influence in the art world. And now please, once again, big up for RM.
Woo! That was so long. Thank you.
It's going to be even longer when we start a conversation with Sofia Monteiro, next up, the head curator for Samsung Europe's art store. And we are truly looking forward for this discussion. Please, Sofia, enter the stage. So now finally, let's make this a dialogue and stop the monologue from our side. I'm very pleased to share the stage with both of you. And RM, I would say we start with a very broad question in the beginning. How do you perceive the role of art in your daily life? We all know it's very important, but if you could elaborate a little bit on that.
Actually, that is the hardest question. I think art is already embedded in many aspects of our lives. Like, for example, like we know, like literature, architecture, cinemas, and also music, which I'm really included in. And but when we say art, I think a lot of people, a lot of audience treated it like it's a very, very like a high level of something. But art is already here in our insides, and I think it's everywhere. So, we live in a building, we listen to music when we take a shower. So I just, like before we start this session, I just hope that people just could realize like art is everywhere in our lives.
Yeah, I completely agree with that perspective. And I actually think that that's exactly what Samsung Art Store is trying to do. It's to be a subtle presence within someone's daily life. So whether you're coming back from work and you want to watch a movie, or maybe you want to come back from work and put an artwork on your TV, maybe you're looking for some peace of mind. And yeah, it's about that subtle involvement of art within your life. I actually was thinking on the same topic as well, RM, what you just mentioned about kind of living with art. Have you ever found yourself turning into art to find some escapism or some mental peace during a difficult time?
I think, art is every basic things in life, like eating and sleeping, right? It's the next chapter of every basic levels of life, like living. And I didn't start my career as music. I started with literature, and I just got into this genre called rap. And I was really impressed that, like some very romantic guys were saying like rap stands for rhythm and poetry. So if I do rap, and it's also in literature, like poetry. So that's how I started music. I've been doing this job as a professional musician for 12 years, and sometimes I had my like burnouts and slumps, and I had plenty of time doing tours in Chicago. My first museum was Chicago Art Institute, and just an idea popped up in my mind, like, why don't I just go to the museum and spend some time and see some maybe Monet or Gauguin. And I was like shocked to see all those details and textures of a real painting. So I was really impressed. And actually, especially for fine art, my mental peace is that I don't get jealous. Like sometimes when I listen to like great musicians' albums, I get really jealous and I just can't be like objective. But when I see the art or like Basel, I find peace because uh, my drawing sucks and I'm not good at it at all. So yeah, this is my personal thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think actually what you're saying is kind of a form of escapism, which is common for people who enjoy looking at art. And yeah, I believe that this is a crucial point because what you're mentioning is kind of going to a museum or going to a gallery, whereas with Samsung Art Store, you're able to do that from home a little bit, and it can be a great entry point into art. So coming to that realization of why don't I do this as often with Samsung Art TVs, you're able to do that on a daily basis and rotate it very frequently and connect with art in that way. Yeah, I also just think it's important for art institutions and technology to think about young people and how they are accessing art and finding mediums that resonate to them.
Would lead us to the next question,
Okay.
which fits kind of perfectly. Sorry, how do you think people can find emotional balance through art in their daily lives, even at home? What does art provocates in your own home?
Like I said, a lot of people think that art is a hard thing and like you just need to study. It's sort of true, right? Once you get to know all the histories and the backgrounds and the narratives, it's more of a intellectual experience and really interesting point. But sometimes I just love the experience. You just look at some random art piece and you just love the colors and the details and the shells of your art piece. And so, in terms of that, you can. My starting point was just to display the posters of the movies that I like, or the like very cool exhibitions from the past. The posters. I started with it, and then I just jumped to the prints and etchings. So and we got this TV. Actually, I've used the frame for. I've been using the frame for like 3 weeks, and friends of mine, they know I'm an art lover, and they just come to the house and this wooden frame, and they mistake it as a new media art. So they just didn't know it was a TV. So living with art, just by the posters or maybe technology, I think we could, like you said, it could be a bridge to access because for a lot of people, a museum or gallery and what we call on art is a very they think it is a very hard thing, but I just tell if you decide to live with art, you can live with the posters or technologies and prints, and maybe that could be a really great entry just to be an art lover, and art makes you happy.
I agree.
Beautiful said.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with what you're saying. I think for a lot of our users who buy the frame, they're aesthetically driven, but they might feel intimidated about not knowing enough about art to engage with it or to even like it. What I love about Samsung Art Store is that it's visual first. So it's similar to a gallery or a museum experience where you see the visual, you get drawn to it, and then you can find out within the platform what it means. And it might trigger those questions of who made this and why did they make it. And yeah, that kind of also leads me to the next question, which is: have you ever found yourself looking deeper into someone's work and building a strong connection to their work or their story? Do you take that sort of inspiration?
Of course, it's really important, but sometimes since there are billions of artists, sometimes I'm just an art fan. Once when my life is really exhausting, I just sometimes just don't want to know everything. But mostly, I really prefer to study and the backgrounds and the narratives if I really like the art piece because like I said, it's a very whole new kind of experience. But I just want to tell the people, you just don't have to do it every time. Like there's a pressure, you have to be really aware of everything. But it's been only like 7 years since I've got into this art world. But maybe there are maybe like a 50, 70 artists that I really can tell the people that I sort of know. But you know, there are more than millions of artists that you just can't figure out. So I just hope the people just have the chance to just look at it and just why don't I like search for this artist, or why did this guy paint this thing, like sort of that.
You said it very nice. Art makes me happy. We could take this as a quote. I really love it.
That makes me happy.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's wonderful. Besides that, and besides knowing more about the artists, what motivates you to explore art through physical visits or digital platforms? The different.
7 years ago, when since I told you my art experience started from Chicago, and I didn't think, I never expected like this kind of experience, like because art, going to the museums and galleries was just a hobby, and now I became an ambassador for Samsung Art TV, and I just can't say I don't know much things about art. I use my Instagram. I like if I like it, I share it. There's no any kinds of like political or like profitable relationship between my Instagram feed or story and some all the political things. It's just like if I really like it, I just wanted to want to show the people, and very thankfully, fans really take it serious and they go to the museums I've uploaded. They share the pieces, and they really. It's been 7 years, and they really a lot of people started to really take it serious. So I'm really grateful for that. It's a wonderful experience to be a person like that. So what I'm trying to say is that my Instagram curation, it's not a curation. I mean, like my Instagram feed was like the RTV. So they, I don't know all of their backgrounds, but they were able to approach a different artist, like even Korean, by my Instagram. And it's been 7 years, so like I was like thinking, am I being too stubborn for art? Like I have my own taste, I have my own kind of color. But this art stream system and RTV showed me a lot of different artists, like from all over the world, like Basim, and it was a really cool experience to look back on my prejudice or my stubborn taste, individual, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shortly, in short, sorry, I'm too talkative, and
It's wonderful.
digital platform is a. I think I think it's a great bridge to approach art, because a lot of people, maybe most of the people in the world, they don't have the cultural like environments, like especially in Korea. If you don't live in Seoul, like you just really it's not easy to go to the museums or galleries to see the art piece. And maybe same for a lot of the rest of the world. So I think you start with digital platforms, and maybe you plan for your visit to the museums or the galleries or your favorite artists. I think it's a beautiful process to be a art man.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, I resonate to that as well because I didn't grow up in a city where art was very accessible. But if you live in cities like Paris, New York, London, you can see exhibitions. But loads of millions of our users don't get that type of access.
Of course
So,
not.
yeah. So that's really where technology can come in and help with that.
On the topic of curation, maybe RM, you're well known as a curator yourself. What
Maybe.
maybe you will become
Maybe.
even more famous as a
Maybe.
curator. What challenges do you face curating art for your personal space, and how could, you already mentioned a little bit, but how could technology address these challenges that you have?
I'm not a curator. I didn't have my major in art history or something. I'm just an art fan. But I think in 2025, everybody could be a curator by their Instagram. Like you see the feed, and that's your gallery. That's your own space. The gallery start from galleries start from corridors, and it's really fun to watch people like trying to show their taste, like their it's it's like an individual branding for every people. My challenge is I really want to build a personal space until like I don't know, maybe in 5 years. I'm seriously looking for a place to build it. But I just want to bring, actually in Seoul, in my perspective, I don't think there are not much museums or places or spaces that you can like aesthetically or like appreciate. So in the future, I just want to bring the keywords together that I really take important, like maybe personality and universality, and East and West, and old and new, all those things. I just want to bring them together in my perspective because I'm not a museum curator or an art historian. So I think if I do it, it's gonna be more fresh, and I don't have any relationship with those critical any sort of things. I just want to show the people, in a young man way, art outsider. I mean, like find out art outsider, and I don't think, I don't think it's gonna be really possible to bring all the keywords together. But I'll do my best.
I think that sounds great. I actually think that's exactly what platforms like us try to do. Is most people have visual instincts already. They know what they like, and our job as curators is really to surface art for them. And that's what we do with Samsung Art Store. Is to just try to play with those elements of discoverability. Our job is not to tell people what to like, but to just expose them to art and give them the access to view works, as you said, from all over the world. Yeah.
You want to continue with your question? I think you have one that's really important for you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask as well. You're an artist yourself, and I was gonna ask what type of features do you think platforms like Samsung Art Store and digital platforms can do in order to make the art experience more rich for users and for artists themselves as well?
In 2020, like all we know, COVID happened, and there were a lot of things like metaverse, and maybe you guys all remember all those AI things, and like metaverse exhibitions, all those things. I didn't enjoy it that much because I really think the personal, direct, three-dimensional experience is really important. But it's just my answer is the same. Digital platform could be a really cool access. Like these days, alpha generation, they all just want to be like YouTubers or like influencers, and they are. I mean, like they are really close with the technology. So if you have your own frame in your living room, like I'm doing, it's a really fun experience to actually buy an art piece. Like it was sort of different, and I'm really sure that digital platforms could really help the open another world for art people, and also not art people, just to have the have an access for the art world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've mentioned also art streams as a way of discovering art and discovering new artists through the platform. And that's exactly what we try to do with kind of the access to technology in the art space. Is to really feature artworks that haven't been exposed. And with the art streams for us, we do monthly curations. We focus a lot on season, theme, mood that are very easily reachable to all users. Everyone can relate to mood and season. And a lot of the times what we do with Samsung Art Store is that we try to do curation that is approachable. So for example, we'll do let's say spring abstracted, because spring is an easy theme for users. However, abstract or conceptual art can be quite difficult to grasp. So we find ways to make curation quite friendly, so that when you go into the curation itself, you're able to relate easy and then really enjoy more from the art piece itself.
I think what many people here wonder, and me as well, is if you have, of course you have, but what kind of art you have displayed in your home, maybe on your frame. Could you give us a little insight, maybe some tips what you would display?
I can't give you any insights because I'm just a I'm not that insightful person. I actually me personally, I prefer the very traditional medias like paintings and sculptures and drawings, but that's because I live in a music industry which is really fast and hectic, and I really got consoled and peace and comforted by the what we say like modernists or the attitudes for those old people actually, because like this industry is like so fast and like consuming. And but as a young artist, I'm 30 years old. I feel sometimes like responsible just to like what's really happening in 2025, because the future is theirs, like the Generation Z and Alpha. So I do study, and like you said, I do study on Spotify too, because my algorithm tells me like, yo, it's Tuesday morning and it's cloudy. You better listen to Radiohead or Portishead, or maybe it's Friday night. It's the sky's clear. Maybe you should listen to techno. Fred again, Fortet. So but like system like our stream, it breaks the borders and tells me all those new artists like that I'd never known. So I think it's great. I hope that the other music platforms have like similar system like that too, to study.
There's so many topics we would love to cover, but time is running. So I suggest, Sophia, we would skip maybe to the last two questions from your side.
Great.
I love. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. We were curious about your art space in Seoul. We'd like to know if that's going to involve a mix of music and art.
Yeah, I just gave you a hint, but there's a Korean saying called "거미불로 화해불치." It means to be modest yet refined, and to be elegant without being excessive. I just wanted to be a place that where anyone else can come in, feel at ease, and experience its beauty. And I also hope it can be a space. It can be a space where Korean artists feel really proud of, because I found my Korean blood after I got into the American music industry. So I just want to connect my personal identity with that eventually, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally see that echoing through your work as well, because Korean art is known for so much depth and
I'll try my
discipline.
best.
So yeah, that's pretty much the last question. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, RM. It was truly an insightful conversation, and to learn all of this was really, really nice. Your profound influence on art. It's really, really, really nice, and how art is part of our life. I really take away art makes me happy, and I think this is really what it's about. And bringing that happiness to our home through the Frame and Samsung Art TV is an amazing opportunity. I'd like to extend my sincere gratitude that you took the time after your military service to come here and show up in front of all of these people and gracing us with your presence. Thank you very much. A big round of applause for RM.
Art makes me happy.